live on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Now we're going to go live on this one. Live on that one.
We have 3 minutes too before we start. Yeah.
We're going live early?
Yeah, really
Should I not
early.
do that?
No, it's too early.
Well, it's already going live.
Oh, okay.
Hey, everybody.
Give
We're
people
starting a little
time.
early here today.
Hey, Quincy. Hey, Ginge. Can you hear us? Can you give us a thumbs up if you can hear us?
Hi, Quincy. Hi, Ginge. But there's people from various times. So you're going to see me going like this, and then like this, and then like this, because we're broadcasting on 3 different platforms. So there's different people coming on. We're going to start playing some music. We're going to start, Moksha's going to cook some for you.
Can you hear us on Facebook? If you can, please give us a yes in the comments. Can you hear us on Instagram? If you can, please give us a yes in the comments. Anyone? You see any response with that
Hey
yet?
guys, Quincy says hi. No one said anything about.
Turn it up on there for a second, see if it's coming through.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good. We're happy you all are with us. Thanks for being early with us here today. We'll wait until the actual official time so that we can, start actually playing music and cooking when everybody is here with us. So, yay. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that.
We have kale.
Mm. And I got to wear my special apron today. Da da da.
We have $100
$100
bottle.
Laura. Hi, Susie.
This.
Awesome. Quincy, thank you. Yes, we are healthy and well. I hope you are healthy and well. I hope everybody tuning in today is healthy and well. We are grateful. The only thing that's been funky for me is all of the beautiful pollen because of all the gorgeous plants that are starting out there. So I do have a princess apron. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Is that what that's called?
Apparently, maybe anything with ruffles counts. I don't know. Maybe you all can tell me how that works. So how are we doing on time? Oh, it's 4:00 Central Standard Time, everybody. So who's ready for a little bit of cooking? Are you all ready for a little bit of cooking? Because I am. So everybody out there, first step, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. My oven is now preheating to 350 degrees. Do you all have your ovens on to 350 degrees? And that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. We don't want to burn anything down. Okay, just to be clear. All right. So while the oven is preheating, how about we do a little song with you guys? So last week, we actually got the request to do another Turkish ilahi. And so we took a little time to learn this one. And if there are any of our dear friends from Turkey who are watching this right now, let me know if I'm like completely butchering part of this. This is a traditional ilahi. And of course, we want to do it justice. So we're going to do it for the first time with you all today in our kitchen. Bülbül gibi gülşeninde nayanın çok şükran hamdülillah. Muhammed sana. La ilahe illallah. Nur Muhammed sana. Hey! La ilahe illallah. Muhammed Resulullah. La ilahe illallah. Muhammed Resulullah. Çok şükür elhamdülillah. Muhammed sana. Çok şükür elhamdülillah. Muhammed sana. Hey!
La ilahe illallah.
Muhammed Resulullah. La ilahe illallah. Muhammed Resulullah. Çok şükür elhamdülillah. Muhammed sana. Çok şükür elhamdülillah. Muhammed sana. Hey, 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 hey. Well, that was fun to do with y'all. How's sound coming through and everything? Y'all doing all right? So we, now that the oven is nice and preheated, are you ready to see what it's like to truly massage kale? I mean, really massage the kale.
I'm looking at the
All right.
comments. I'm not being creepy. I swear.
So,
Check
first
out
of
the
all,
comments.
before you massage kale, always take off your wedding rings. Next, I'm going to show you this pretty kale. Look at this pretty kale. So obviously I have already washed and dried this very well. It has been ripped off so that the stems are not in there because you don't want the big bulky stems. They're not going to cook into nice crispy chips. So you want to have it nice and small, clean, and dry. So what we're going to do next, I don't recommend this doing at home if you have musical instruments on the same table as where you're cooking. But I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and just kind of drizzle, baby, drizzle. Now I'm going to do it on the other one too. Drizzle, baby. Drizzle. All right, the next step, and this is the magic secret ingredient that I'm sharing with you, is some nice, good apple cider vinegar. This gives it some like really nice kick and zing to it, which everybody wants kick and zing right now, right? Are we feeling a little kicked and zinged out in life right now? So you want to put it on both batches, of course. Are you ready to massage?
I don't have my thing on yet.
You have to.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put my apron on.
This is not a one-man job. So what I'm going to do now is in here, I'm going to try to do it one-handed with you. But basically you want to really like get in there with the olive oil and with the apple cider vinegar and just massage the leaves. You want the vinegar and the oil to really nicely coat every little bit of your leaves. And what's nice too is massaging them gives them kind of like, it speeds up the marinating process. So they really kind of.
I can't do that when I play guitar. It's not an excuse.
He's a terrible coach.
But I did put on my.
I just want to say that.
I did put on my my black manly one apron. Do you like? I mean, what's it called?
Oh, good. Trudy said she needs some zing. We all need some zing. And you know what? Apple cider vinegar is really good zing. It's super good for your digestive system. It's really good for your immune system. It's like a really good thing for all of the happy bacteria in your gut that are so good at supporting your immune system. So you see how I massaged it? Okay, I'll massage the other one. Maybe Jamal can tell you a story while I massage it.
Question is, how did I get a one apron? I'm not sure how we got this.
I got the one.
Moshe got the one apron.
I think it was in relation to writing that op-ed in terms of Rand Paul.
Yeah, I think so. She got published. So that's how she got it.
I think that's how I got it. I got a one apron because I wrote an op-ed that was printed that was in regards to use of federal foreign aid budget. Rand Paul was really not into it, and I think to make me feel better, one gave me an apron.
We don't have the new HuDost shirts yet. She said we should model our new t-shirts. They should be in this week sometime.
They are being created as we speak right now. So, and that reminds me, that's a good reminder. So those t-shirts are no longer available, but very soon we will have t-shirts that are available again. But what's available right now is access to our subscription plan. And actually this coming week, we're going to do our very first hangout with all of our subscribers, all of our new subscribers online. We'll be doing songs just for them.
Where do you do that at?
And if you want to subscribe, sign up through our website. There's actually a subscription page. You'll be able to find it easily if you go to the homepage, HuDost.com, HuDost.com. So
//subscribe. And if you want to make, we might as well do it. We have to do this. Sorry, we have to do this part. If you want to make our virtual tip jar, you can add on paypal.me/HuDost, or you can do @HuDost at Venmo. And I think we should do another song very soon.
Well, first I'm going to put the salt and nutritional yeast on this and slip these in the oven while you guys are with me. So what you want to do is grab a little bit of yummy salt. I like a nice sea salt with this, and just give it a nice little shaky all over your kale. You then want to grab some of.
She makes the best kale chips.
Some good nutritional
really,
yeast.
Sure.
If you don't know what nutritional yeast is, check it out. It's magical. It tastes like cheese, but it has so much B vitamins in it. It's crazy. And it's, of course, totally vegan. And so
It's good on popcorn, too.
It's good on almost everything. So I'm going to put this all over the kale chips. Give a really nice frosting, dusting with this stuff. So this is what it looks like with the dusting of the nutritional yeast and the salt. So I'm going to put this into the oven, which is currently already preheated at 350 degrees. Hey. All right. So.
Royal Mountie, not broken.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do a song that is one of the requests from one of our sponsors.
It's an oldie. When did we write this one? We wrote this one back, and this song's 13 years old now, isn't it? 2007?
Yeah, this is one of our older tunes. So it's about my hometown of Montreal. Of the Royal Mountain and the cemetery built from corn, and they took the gravestones and left the bones, and the place was moved over After years of erosion, the bones are just inches below. Only time separates them from love. Mon lien, mon cœur leurs hauts sont les circuits de cette ville. Les vins et les trains par la terre sont les artères. Le déplaçant par sa chair comme un canard dans sa mon cœur est an errors are made once they've already passed and gone. Assessments are made on the nature of the stage. Let's name this one now and make proud our ancestors. Let's call it redemption age. Merci et bon après-midi à toutes les Montréalaises. So thank you for all the Montrealers that are tuning in right now. So how about if now that we have done these two songs and we have our kale chips in the oven, looking good already, everybody. How about I start making the soup that we had talked about? So I have some oil in the pan already. Just a little bit of oil. For those of you who are not into using oil, you can do this. Just put a little bit of vegetable broth in the bottom of the pan. But what you're going to do is warm up the oil on the stove. And then as that warms up, I can show you, I have 2 whole onions diced up as finely as possible. You want to make it so that they're the right size for a nice soup, you know, like good, not too big, not too small, just the size of Montreal, right? So as the oil heats up, I'm going to get these onions ready. I'm going to throw those right in there. And hey, Wade.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, as the onions saute, I'll get them nice and hot, and then I'll bring it down to a nice low so the onions can saute for approximately 3.5 minutes while we play the next song.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Which song are we doing next?
Okay, we're going to do, this is another request. It's a cover song, even though we covered it on a record. It's by a friend of ours named Steve Kilby. Does anybody know who Steve Kilby is? Anyone? Steve Kilby from the Australian, how would you call them? Psychedelic art rock band, The Church. I've known Steve, met him for the first time in 1988, strangely, but didn't.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, but didn't really start becoming friends with him until like 1990. We did a record with him about 5 years ago, and this is a song of his from one of his solo songs from a long time ago. I think it was You don't know. I'm only looking
I
at
don't
you.
know. I
I
don't
think
know
this was
anything.
probably written in 1984, 85 by him. But request.
I'm just starting to get the onions sauteing here. And by the way, in that 3.5 minutes of time, you don't want to burn them or anything. You want to get them just nice and like basically translucent, not excessively translucent. If anybody has questions about what it means to be excessively translucent after, we're going to have a private discussion about that. And just so you know too, like as I'm doing this, don't feel like you have to write everything down in terms of these recipes. I will actually write down the recipe for this and post it on the HuDost page after we are done today.
How about that? So we're doing this with oven fan sounds and sauteing onion sounds. It's great.
All right.
So speaking of Steve Kilbey, well, last thing about Steve Kilbey, while we're going to do one of his songs, he's if you're on Instagram, he's been doing live stream concerts as well from Australia. He's played the entire church records from start to finish. He did Seance, he did the Bird Crusade, he's doing sing songs, remote luxury stuff. Now he did their debut record, so he's been like learning this stuff, very ambitious and hanging out and recording them all. So support him too. Support music. This is a song called Something That Means Something.
Is everything all good with sound and everything?
That's just
Ready?
a,
Okay.
2, 3, 4.
Oceans are dry. Children start crying. We're trying. We're dying to leave this island to you. No recovery. Each day is a terrible discovery. Understand, cover me. This is true. What do you want me to want? Something to mean something. What do you want me to want? Don't have a clue. Do cities are stinking. Now keep quiet, I'm thinking, I'm linking this unthinking ritual to you. No recovery. And all these sins don't bother me. I'm just here another me. What do you want me to want? Something to mean something. What do you want me to want? Don't have a clue. Do cry from Venus. I know she's above and between us. She's been with us, dreamed of us, dreamed of us too. No recovery. I wish this earth could mother me. I hope these skies don't smother me, just like you. What do you want me to want? Something to mean something. What do you want me to want? Don't have a clue. everybody. Ooh. So, how are we doing here? Let's see. We have now, as I said before, the onions. They've been doing a good job sauteing, actually. Thanks, everybody. You've been helping them saute while watching us play a little bit of music. So they are ready for the next step. I'm going to show you. The next thing I'm going to put in there, show you right here. So this is 4 cloves of garlic, about 2 overflowing teaspoons of freshly cut ginger, a whole bunch of cumin, over a tablespoon of cumin, a teaspoon of cardamom, salt, and pepper. So I will write down all of this stuff afterwards so that you don't have to memorize it all now. But all of this stuff together, you are going to add to the pot that has the yummy onions in it that are now sauteed 3.5 minutes approximately, or the length of any kind of pop song that you would like to listen to. So you can get those onions sauteing, put on a song, dance it out till the end, and then know that it's just about the right time to add your spices, your ginger, your garlic, your salt, and your pepper. So that's what I'm going to do right now.
You can take a shot, don't you?
Oh, I'm not ready. It's going to have to be later. So put it in there. And I'm just going to mix it so that it really coats the onions. Get the spices all in there, doing their thing. Oh my gosh, the smell of cumin just filled the kitchen.
Smells good in here.
Does anybody else love cumin as much as I love cumin?
Stacy's going shot, 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 shot.
Later. One thing at a time. Let's enjoy the scent of cumin.
I don't know
right
if
now,
Mellow Matt's
we?
watching right now, but I'm drinking, he gifted me. I'm a 1 beer kind of guy. I'm drinking out of my D93 cup, our local radio station in Bowling Green. Awesome human beings, awesome mugs. I got this from Tommy Starr, and I'm drinking a beer given to me by, hi Brian, Cooking with HuDost. Yes, I'll show you the beer, Cody.
We don't have a beer.
It was a gift. It was a gift from Mellow Matt. It is Cigar City, the same people that make High Life, but it's their Florida Man double IPA. Really good. Okay, Stacia, we'll have to do that next time. Do that when we're plugged in. Yes, love D93. Yes.
Hey, you know what? I want to say we love a lot of local radio stations. So let's give a little whoop whoop for all of our friends who are DJs and hosts and keep things like awesome radio stations going that really serve the communities they're in. Can everybody go, whoop, whoop, local radio, whoop, whoop. Awesome. All right, so while the spices, ginger, garlic are now blooming in your kitchen with the onions that are still slowly becoming that amazing, perfect sort of slightly transparent color to them, we are going to do another request. And we feel like this is a really beautiful one, a really appropriate. It's a Prince song. And
so, I'm a huge Prince fan. As you can see underneath my one apron, I've got a Prince shirt on. You can't see it now. But this last weekend, the 4-year anniversary of Prince passing away is coming up, I think, this Tuesday. The 21st is when he passed away. Today's the 18th. So, yes, he's been gone 4 years. And basically, he did his last Tuesday, performed his last concert ever in Atlanta. A week later, he was dead. And he died in April. This is a song about April. This song is not an easy song to play. And
so hopefully we won't.
But we hopefully
totally
won't butcher it too much. We don't usually give disclaimers, but this is a disclaimer song. It's also, today's the birthday of my good brother Richard Basil, who passed away. It's been 2 years now.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Years. So this is also dedicated to him and to Prince.
And on a less deep note, it really does sometimes snow in April, and we have a lot of friends who've been hit by recent snows.
Tracy died soon after a long fought civil war. Just after I wiped away his last tear. Guess he's better off than he was before. A whole lot better off than the fools he left here. I used to cry for Tracy 'cause he was my only friend. Those kinds of cars don't pass you every day. I used to cry for Tracy 'cause I wanted to see him again. But sometimes life ain't always the way. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish life was never ending. All good things they say never last. Springtime was always my favorite time of year. The time for lovers holding hands in the rain. Now springtime only reminds me of Tracy's tears. Always cry for love, never cry for pain. We used to stay so strong and unafraid to die, unafraid of the death that left me hypnotized. Now staring at his picture, I realize no one could cry the way my Tracy cried. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish life was never ending. All good things they say never last. Often dream of heaven, and I know that Tracy's there. I know that he has found another friend. I know it's found another April snow. Maybe one day I'll see my Tracy again. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes
I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish life was never ending. All good things they say never last. All good things they say never last. Love, it isn't love until it's past.
Time to check our onions and our spices, y'all.
Time to take a shot, Moksha.
All right. So this is the fun next part. How's everybody
I
doing?
gotta say, Moksha could have a second career as a comedian. So,
Yeah, but I
it's
can't
snowing
do it.
for 2 days, wink.
Oh, snowing for 2 days.
Oh, Quincy's birthday. I didn't realize
Oh,
that.
happy birthday, Quincy. That's awesome.
Hi, Laura. Hi, John.
Awesome. All right. So here's the next step. What I have in here now. Look at, can you see this? It's beautiful. It's a whole lot of onions. Look, I'm trying to show 3 different cameras. It's the onions, ginger, garlic, all the spices. Just, they've done their thing. They're ready. And now the next step, we're going to take lentils. This is a cup of red lentils that's been thoroughly rinsed. Why do we rinse our lentils, you ask? Well, would you like to avoid having incredibly stinky flatulence? Yes, you would. So I encourage you to thoroughly rinse your lentils. Unless you're a fan of really serious flatulence, which in this time of isolation is okay. So you're going to take these beautiful rinsed lentils and put them in with the spices and onions and ginger and garlic and really coat them so that they have like a moment to marinate in the oil and in all of that stuff that's been cooking. Oh, that came out as a solid block because I'd rinsed it a while ago. All right, so I'm coating everything, getting it all happy. If you rinse them and don't let them sit for a long time, they won't be stuck together in gloves. All right, so as I'm doing this, what's the next step, Wade?
You're the one that's been promoting the show.
Okay, so you show them that as I'm getting this ready.
Okay. This is almost done.
I know.
I got this from Moksha a couple years ago. I'm not a big bourbon guy, but this is some serious, like, so I got to show it to the different ones. This is Booker's bourbon from Kentucky, like serious stuff. So we're gonna, hey Alex,
Pouring me a cup.
I'm gonna pour Moksha a cup of this Booker's. This is like the highest in Kentucky bourbon.
So the thing that you're gonna add, once you have your lentils nice and coated, you're gonna add in a whole big can of diced tomatoes. If you are completely opposed to using canned goods, then feel free to do your own tomatoes. That's awesome if you have them, but make sure they're nice and diced because this is the consistency that they're gonna stay in your soup. So dump those suckers in there. Get it going. How are you all doing?
What is next?
Did you pour me a cup? Oh my God, that's so much in there.
Okay.
Give me some ice. How much is that?
This is our refrigerator. This is really our kitchen.
So you're gonna mix in those tomatoes. Then the next thing you're gonna do, I have my own veggie broth. It's super awesome to make your own veggie broth. You can do this by just simply using the leftovers of different vegetables you have, and then kind of slow cooking it with a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, whatever spices you want in there, especially herbs. Some nice herbs are good. And then just like pulling out all of the leftovers. And we're talking even using things like orange peels and kale stubs and everything that you have from veggies. So what you want to do is use 4 cups of broth. If you don't have that, that's fine. just use bouillon or use regular broth. Take that and pour it into here. As soon as you've done that, you're going to want to take a sip of bourbon. Dear God. That's part of the cooking process. You talk about it, Wade.
Yes, and I'm not sure what we're doing next song-wise. I have a feeling. But everybody, if you're just tuning in, hello. If you've been on for a while, we're happy to have you here. If you want to make a donation to our virtual tip jar, you can go to Venmo and use @HuDost, or you can go into paypal.me/HuDost, or you can subscribe on our webpage, HuDost.com/subscribe. And Moksha's got something else for you.
The last thing you're going to throw in there during this phase of the cooking process is you can use sweet potato or squash. I find sweet potato to be the lazy man's version, which I kind of enjoy. You're going to do 2 cups of nicely cubed sweet potato. And once you've got all of your broth, tomato, lentils, et cetera, in there with the spices and everything, you're going to throw this in there last. You're going to bring it up just to a nice simmer and keep it there. You're going to let it cook for probably about half an hour until the lentils are fully cooked in that way. But what I want to encourage is you cook it as slowly as possible, because it lets the spices really come through and really marinate all the different things that you have in there. So we throw this in there now. Who's coming over for dinner? It'll be ready in about 45 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to lid this sucker. I'm also going to check the kale chips for a second. Anybody excited? Ooh, they're almost ready. All right, I want to show you what's happened to these kale chips. Yum. Okay, so they've turned into what looks, from your perspective, like wilty little pieces of nothing. But what it means is they've become nice and crunchy, so delicious. And with the nutritional yeast and salt, so good. I'm going to actually turn off the oven and just let them sit in there. Some of them are just a little bit moist still. Almost all of them are crunchy. But these suckers are pretty much done.
Are they done?
Yeah. So I'm going to turn this off. Let them be for a minute. Are we ready to play another song? Should we dose it with them?
No, because I have to do it tune for the boom. Hopefully Saba's on. Saba, are you on right now?
I hope Saba's on. All right, so we had a request from our dear friend Saba.
We're going to use pans and stuff.
We should use pans.
Or you can use this.
She is one of our subscribers, and so she gets to make special requests with this. I wonder what would be a good pan. Oh, I could try. I feel like a cookie pan would be good. I'm attached to my own dress. You call me siren, and I sing to ocean. Wave tide shore pulsating. You call me and I answer over street noise and electric toys and rhythm with the tick-tock clock. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I'm placing bets on the gold car race of our hearts. Wondering if mine reached the finish line first. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. My pheromones sparkling in the wind. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Bubbling from the most distant and the most present belly. Aisha holding her hands out to me, beating at my windows and doors like wings with a distant lineage of battlefields unseen in my blood. My
Jihad love pulsating,
quickening, slow. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. You call me siren, and I sing to ocean. Wave touch shore pulsating, quickening, and then the last shudder before the next. Where did you come from, little bird? Falling from the nest, I guess. Beating at my ribcage, ba-boom, 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 and flutter of pulse. I'm downwind from the smell of animal, and even the smallest mouse. But above, has an know that rises out and spills on your fingers and into the wind. It says I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Pulsating, quickening and slowing. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It says tick tock, ba-boom, ba-boom, tick tock, ba-boom, ba-boom, tick tock, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba 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 ba-boom, ba-boom. I asked to questions and startling rhythms, and I am still here, beating little heart, beating, beating little heart, beating. Ba-boom, 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 ba-tick, tick, 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 ba-tick, tick, ba-tick, tick, ba-tick, tick, ba-tick, tick, ba-tick, 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 ba. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. The long way of wade in water, wade in water, children, wade in water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in water, wade in water, children, wade in water. God's gonna trouble the water. I want that peace when I die. I want that easy way. I wanna die easy when I die. Show salvation as I die. I wanna die easy when I Thank you.
The kitchen
everyone.
baboom. All right.
Kitchen Babo. Do not judge my pan, man.
And do not try that at home. How's the food going, Melissa?
The food is going great. Thanks for asking. So, in playing Baboom, I didn't want to turn up the heat too high. So I'm going to crank it up a little bit to get this to a nice simmer. But I want to show you what this looks like already. Look at this. Yum. Can you all see in there? It's going to simmer for a little while here and cook and get all kinds of awesome. And as I said before, the lower the heat that you use and the longer you can let it just kind of marinate and simmer, the better. The kale chips are ready. Does anybody want one? Wait,
I do.
You want a kale chip?
I want a kale chip. I want 2 kale chips.
Oh, he wants a mouthful of kale chips. Do you all want a kale chip?
They're crunchy.
Crunchy.
They're still crunchy even in milk.
Ew. So we have 2 things of them, and those last for a couple days, but honestly, every time I make a couple pans of these, they get gobbled up within 20 minutes. So even by a picky 6-year-old boy. So if that tells you anything, if a picky 6-year-old will eat it, anybody will eat it. So, kale chips are ready. Oh, there's one thing else I wanted to share with you today. What I'm going to have in a little bit here too, to complement this, is a nice hibiscus brew. This is cold brewed, so it takes like no effort whatsoever. It's dried hibiscus. You just put about a handful of the dried hibiscus, put some nice clean water, stick it in the fridge for several hours, and it cold brews on its own. And it's so high in antioxidants. This is really good for your immune system right now, which we all want to make sure our immune systems are great. And what's cool too is that the hibiscus itself, you don't have to strain it and throw it in the garbage. It's delicious if you want to throw it into a smoothie, something that has like a fruitier edge. It gives this nice little bit of tang and some extra fiber too, which is great for you. So there's no waste involved in this. Super yummy. And so this is what I'm going to serve up on the table when everything else is ready as well. So,
Here's a question, Moksha.
Yeah.
Why vegan?
Why vegan? I think there are a lot of reasons to eat vegan, but that's what we eat in this household. We sort of try to be as mindful as we can of the planet. We're very conscious, being touring musicians, that we unfortunately have a lot of emissions that go out. And so we've asked ourselves the ways
Not
that
just
we...
from unwashed lentils.
Not just from unwashed lentils. Good one. That's classy. But, we try to be as... I can't just drink this. We try to be as conscious as we can in terms of where we can reduce our impact. And that's a big area in terms of what we eat. So everything we make at home is vegan, and I'm happy to answer questions about it afterwards. I found for my health that being plant-based is a really good way to be, and it's been really great for my body and for my general health. So it's what I love to be able to do, and I love to be able to cook that way and not have it just taste like lame, cardboardy, quote unquote healthy food, but have it be the kind of thing that's absolutely delicious. So I think we're going to just do one more song or so for you. How are we doing? Oh yeah, we probably have time for one more. So I'm going to tell you the last step. Obviously, we don't have time to sit here while this simmers to its final state. But once the lentils are fully cooked, what you're going to do is take right here in this cup, for the last while of marinating, I juiced an entire lemon. So the juice is in there, and I have about 2 heaping teaspoons of curry. You can use whatever kind of curry blend that you want. It's yummy no matter what. I've tried different blends. And then also just some nice red pepper flakes in there. And so you want to let it just kind of do its thing for a little bit. But at the very end, you're going to add this and a can of coconut milk, because that gives
Secret weapon.
This gives it such a yummy creaminess to the whole thing. When you add these things in, both the curry, lemon, and this, what you're going to do is then just let it simmer for about another 15 minutes and then serve it. And I love serving it with a little bit of fresh cilantro on top. So again, I will post all of this stuff on the HuDost page, and let me know feedback on the recipe. I am so happy to share with you. I want to give credit to the initial recipe that I used was from a book by Judith Finlayson. She has great books, but I've altered it. So I'm going to share my altered version with you.
Our Instagram, I think, cuts off right at an hour. So if you're on Instagram and you get cut off and we're still going here, you can head on over to our YouTube page, which everyone should subscribe to our YouTube page anyway. Yeah. youtube.com/HuDost, because we need, followers, and we have new videos and new things coming out there. Or you can head over to our Facebook page, which most of you are on right now.
Yeah.
And thank you guys.
Thank you guys. This is so fun. It's so fun. There's no way that all of you would be able to fit into our kitchen. So this is a really fun way to do it. And again, give feedback on the food. I encourage you so strongly. I mean, we and so many musicians have everything canceled right now. We are now officially canceled until July with canceled dates in September. We'll probably do more of these, but if you can sign up for our subscription plan and that's something that interests you, please do, because that way we can stay engaged and continuing to do this kind of thing with you. So again, just go to our website and find the subscription page on there, HuDost.com. Easy to find, or you can always
subscribe on that one, or you can go to Venmo and do @HuDost, @ HuDost, or you can go to PayPal and use HuDost@me.com or PayPal.me/HuDost. Next, for a tip jar, it definitely helps us during this time. But before we do this last song, I will say next week. Everything we're doing is our requests next week from people from our subscription service. So maybe we're going to do one new song that we're requesting ourselves. But other than that,
do we each get a request?
We could each get a request.
Does our dog get a request?
No, you're cheating. You're trying to cheat.
All right, so thank you for being with us, everybody. We'll do one more.
We'll talk to you more after this.
Cut off after Instagram and.
Yeah, sharp.
Is that right? Up the half step. Or is it down a half step?
Yep, sharp.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. It's been a super fun way to spend our Saturday afternoon. So thank you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Join us. Check out our website again.
Boo,
Subscribe.
someone said who boobaloo. Someone else said dose.
You're giving them the full-on up the nose.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm trying to read the comments. That's the read the comment look. Look, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining, and come back next week at 4. We'll be back up in our studio at 4.
Yep.
And
let us know how your recipes turn out.
Subscribe and make suggestions for next week. We love you.
Peace out, y'all.
Quincy's birthday song. It's Quincy's birthday. Are you still on, Quincy? Happy birthday, Quincy.
Happy birthday, Quincy.
God dance the day you were born.
The angels did the bump to Gabriel's horn. I said, God, dance the day you were born. So grateful for the gift of you. I saw God do the funky chicken, grooving and kicking in blue suede shoes. I saw God do the boogaloo too. So grateful for the gift of you. Now some folks say, or so the story goes, that God couldn't dance to save a soul. But I saw her shake her jelly roll and grace with the gift of you. So grateful for the Quincy Boo. Peace out, everybody. Happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye.
Didn't want to tell you what was happening, but Kevin Hearn was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
During what?
He was happening during, I'm not sure exactly when. He was on for a while.
Did he say anything, or
I don't know. I just saw him,
on Facebook or on
Facebook, I believe.
So you really don't know what part though?
Right around the Prince song, I think.